In my Rethinking Automobiles series, the most recent chapter, we've been talking about why it is that pedestrian and cyclist traffic deaths have been going up in America while they're falling in other Western developed nations. And one of the big reasons is the way we build our cities. And Southern Hamilton County is a great example. Our four big towns here, Carmel, Westfield, Fishers, Noblesville. If you were to look at the overwhelming majority of their square footage or square mileage, you'd see that they're really mostly a loose conglomeration of strip malls and subdivisions, not at all what people thought of as a city being 100 years ago. And they've boomed in recent decades with the assumption that every adult will have a car and will drive everywhere for everything. Work, school, home, shopping, all behind the wheel of a car. So superimpose on top of that the reality of the suburbanization of poverty. In recent decades, an increasing number of low-wage workers have left urban centers and been moving to suburban areas. So imagine a low-income two-earner family. They can only afford one car. The person that works farthest away drives the car to work, and the other worker walks or rides a bike. And I just passed under the only safe passage across State Road 37, a 4-lane highway. It's the only safe passage for miles in either direction. And that is why I see routinely people crossing this dangerous highway on foot or on a bicycle. And usually they're in work uniforms. Sometimes they're carrying shopping bags. And they're doing this because they have no other choice. And this is the kind of place where low-wage workers have a tendency to get hit by cars. Last week I was driving down this road, and in the oncoming lane, I saw a man riding a bicycle in the rain. He was wearing a work uniform, and he was backing up traffic because of how slow he was going. And this is a pretty dangerous road to be riding a bicycle on. It's winding and curving, not much of a shoulder. In places it drops off steeply into wetlands and a stream. You know, we design our cities with little or no concern for these, our most economically and housing vulnerable people. And that is why if you look at the people who get hit and killed by cars walking or biking, low-wage workers are disproportionately represented based on their actual percentage in our population. So in this chapter, we've learned that one of the reasons that we have more pedestrian and cyclist traffic deaths is that we drive distracted. We drive cars with manual transmissions, and we have one car free, and that lets us play with our phones and play with our dashboard controls. And we're driving big cars, and they're big and heavy, and when we hit people, we're more likely to kill them. And, you know, you might be tempted to think that all of this is evolving towards a better place, that the cars are getting better, right? And that we're going to design our cities better. But where this issue is concerned, not necessarily. These are all choices. We choose to drive distracted. We choose to drive big cars. And we choose to design our communities the way that we do. And the rest of the world is not going there with us. The rest of the developed world still tends to build big urban centers with mass transit. They drive smaller cars, and they build those cities with people coming first and cars coming second. And in America, we build our cities with cars coming first and people second. So while I'm expressing all of this heresy about our American way of life, I'll go one step further and tell you that in the next post about Rethinking Automobiles, we're going to look at how I and an increasing number of land planners across the United States believe that America has too much parking.